Aquarius, welcome back for your mid-month reading. Those of you who are new, a very warm welcome. And return bees, welcome back, guys. Okay, as for the banner next to me, it is for the channel I have recently launched. If you are a twin flame and you wish to subscribe, feel free. On both Yildiz readings and on the new channel, I do give away kind of questions and answers time during the live sessions. And I am inclined to give away free 1-hour readings on Skype for those of you who have subscribed. Now, on the new channel, I do have monthly and mid-month at the moment. It may increase to weekly, but I do regularly do live sessions for the psychic downloads I get. So if something in a transit sense is happening, both on Yildiz readings and on the Twin Flame Alchemist to Union, I do live sessions on both channels. Now, for bookings, if you're wanting to make a booking, the link is below and it's the same website for both channels. Let's get into the energy of what's coming through for you guys. Okay, you may feel at a loss to see something in a clear fashion, and really moving into January, it's a very interesting energy with what's transpired in 2018 moving forward and everyone really wanting to get things off the ground. Sometimes in a very general sense, when we do move into the new year, we have highly optimistic goals, especially in romance, and it's like we really do want to get that forward motion going, but there's always that lag and that delay, a bit like a hangover. There is an energy that you are fretful that you're going to lose something. It can even be at a financial and a 3D level, because you've got, you know, theft in reverse, but you're thinking you're going to be okay. But, you know, so it's either at a physical level or at a spiritual level you're concerned of. So you're bouncing between the two. Some of you also might be coming to a place where you're mentally processing, you know, it's a bit like a deal with the devil, so to speak, you know, weighing up the pros and cons of what is too much to give and what isn't, you know, enough in receiving, the give and take and receive. Now, moving to the 20th, we do have a total lunar eclipse. So it can be a transformative time as well, especially in blood moon energy. There's other planets, obviously, that are aspecting our reads, but I'll do that in a separate video. As for your overall energy coming into the middle of the month, it may be you're losing faith in a situation, and again, it's a bit like you're tired of being stuck in that lack of faith mode. You feel that it's a two-way street, and you're also feeling at a love level the way you're going to interact with connections is going to be different, be it with a past tense person, a given current partner at the moment. You're tired of doing all the communications and you feel it's either they're bombarding you with communications or there's absolutely nothing at all. So it's a meditative time, but it's also a finalisation, mentally speaking, of where communication stands and how you're going to proceed forward. Some of you with your throat chakra, you're choosing not to communicate. It's not you haven't healed. It's more you felt there was an immature frequency around, and that can be on either side, but I am feeling it's this frequency that feels an assessment state and trying to keep the balance within that situation. But I'm hearing it takes two to tango. So again, the resolve and the understanding of how you interact in connections is really, really changing. I do feel you guys looking at finances as well. The frustrating thing is either you or they are not healing wounds, and some of it you're wondering how you could actually heal. You know, some of the work has been done alone, some of the work needs to be done jointly. And that's even if you're single and returning to a person, or in general within connections. We never really go into a connection without baggage, but being in that conscious mindset and not in the pain body does assist that for moving forward. With whatever is blocking you, I do feel the state of faith is going to be returned. For some of you, this can be within the current connection or within a past tense connection you held. Some of you also are thinking about something that didn't get quite off the ground. For some of you, it is even moving it to the next level of marriage and whether to or whether not to. But you will see the gifts at the end of this transit, and I do feel by the end of the month you'll have some sense of bearings as to what to do from here. Now, a lot of the transits of what's happening is almost the lag-on effect of 2018. So even in our romantic sphere, it's almost like we need to hold on till March. And I do feel by the end of February, there is a mass transformation by that time. And look, even whenever we do fit into a year, that is quite general. But at the same time, this time frame feels particularly important for those aspects of the transformation to happen. What you will get is a change in disposition, a change in your mindset, you know, really finding that inner peace and releasing anything. And this is even maybe the aspect of controlling the dynamics so that perhaps it's not harming you in some shape or form, and really making a wish and releasing it. And again, I am feeling moon energy, moon and sun energy coming through. The universe is asking you to pause. Because what, you know, even if you're internally being guided to pause before proceeding within connections, I feel that you intuitively know. So the moon energy is helping you. And it's so that you're not being your worst enemy, or that you're moving into enemy territory where the healing hasn't been completed yet. But the healing is going to be done by the end of this transit. I'm feeling, again, the need where you're not feeling that it's required to communicate. Now, it may be you feel that they need to, or it may feel vice versa, because it can swap when we tune into your energy. Some of it might be prevented due to external situations on your side or theirs. This can be an ending of a karmic cycle. It can be a passing of a person and a judgment being made. But a cycle as per se, especially in the domain of communication, is transforming. So if it was a very choppy state of communicating with your partner or your love interest, this is really going to change. And the judgment, you know, is really where the balance, the fairness, the give and take will be more in a more balanced state, especially with your mindset changing to being open to receiving. This directly changes the course of that frequency within your love domain. It's like attracting something like a magnet. Changing that mindset then magnifies that, and it brings it closer to you in an aspect of the laws of attraction. Anything that you want. You're really looking at something very truthfully. You want to be completely honest with yourself in the good, the bad, and the ugly. You also don't have any room for being your enemy or another person's. And I do feel some of you in a friendship group will move away from certain individuals simply because they don't grasp what you're physically going through. Again, finances can be tight, but at the same time, it is about getting this in balance, and that's when things start flowing to you. You may be working at something to get it off the ground. Some of you may be moving into a new time frame of working. You know, and that transformation is going to be a hard transit for you, but it's a delay to gain situations back. So if after a cycle you found that you didn't have the stability in order to move forward at an accommodation level, at an employment level, at a friendship kind, you know, really getting everything put back together again like Humpty Dumpty, I feel this is what you're doing right now. I do feel you might not have as much time as you want or the finances to do the travel, but I do feel by the end of the month, this is really changing in a sense of a manifestation. So it's going to get back on track. Any additional messages for their love interest? Okay, it's not over. It's a transformative state. But some sense of an ending needs to come through full circle, and I feel that's on their side. Okay, so they're ending a karmic cycle, but not with you. And look, karmic cycles can be within our blocks, our jobs. They're energies and lessons we need to physically learn so that we're not blocked any further and we can spiritually connect at a deeper level. They're really trying to get as grounded as possible, and they're really not trying to be up in their head as much. So I do feel you guys are mirroring and matching each other's frequency. And I feel intuitively you know what's going on with this person, but you're just being patient through it. You also know that you won't entertain any triggered energy that isn't on your side, so to speak. And it might have been that they actually took out some of the energy off on you, even if it wasn't your fault, I'm hearing. But again, there is a lot of love here. It's just getting the balance right. Shift your energy and focus onto what you're wanting in a sense of an outcome. And I feel that's really going to balance the energy. I do feel there is August coming through as well as an important transit for you. Or it could be someone connected to that time of the month. Some of you, the person might be 44. Some of you 27 and 34. Some of you, this pattern has felt like it's been easy, like a 10-year transit. And you're almost looking forward. And a lot of the planets are aspecting where they directly change your frequency for the next 12 to 17 years, I believe. So it's almost like you've ended a cycle and you're entering into a new domain of a cycle in your life where a lot of the old frequencies of what you physically experienced at the negative, you won't be reliving those. That's, you know, really being purged and being moved forward. But to get yourself grounded, it's going to take a few months to get balanced in order to get give and take back on a relationship and to rebuild upon what remains of where you are right now. If you are needing a booking for me to psychically tune into you directly, the link is below and I'll see you on the other side.